Hey guys, this is Coach Derek, co-host of the Soapboxing Podcast. Man, ever since I found this Anchor app, I tell you, podcasting has become a lot simpler and a lot easier to do. They distribute the podcast over several platforms, and you have to do no work. I tell you, man, if you're interested in doing podcasting, you need to download the Anchor app. That's ANCHOR.FM. You can get started today with the Anchor app and do whatever your heart desires.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment is here. The main event of the evening. I'm Jeremiah Gallegos, your world-class ring announcer, to introduce Soapboxing Podcast. And now, to introduce your host, Derek, a.k.a. Coach. And across the ring, introducing Matty Fresh. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's golden time. Time to tune in.
Hey guys, this is Coach Derek. I want to give a shout out to our new sponsor, Pueblo Boxing. Y'all be sure to check out Pueblo Boxing. They have unique and high quality boxing gear and novelty gifts. You can find the gear at soloboxing.com. That's SOLO boxing.com. Check it out, man. They do quality work.
Was it the
Starbucks coffee?
Yeah, the Starbucks coffee.
I like that. All right, we're going to put our intro on real quick.
Oh, look at this hardware, man. ABO. Got the Latin American camera.
They got some trainers say, and some fighters say, well, I don't watch videos of the guy fighting. I let the coach watch it. Hey, man.
Guys, one thing we know for sure about Wilder, he hit you clean. Right. And this woman whooped the whole world twice. The whole world.
All right. Good morning, Facebook, YouTube. It's your boy, Manny Fresh, live. Soapboxing Podcast. Coach Derek is on vacation. He's enjoying his time with his family. So today we have on the show Sha Metcalf. How you doing, Miss Sha?
Hey, everyone.
Good morning. We were talking about how early it is. I need to get my coffee in my system, huh? You got that good old Starbucks. I like that cold coffee. I have to put about 5 ice in my coffee to cool it down so I can get straight into my system. So,
this really the only coffee that I drink. I don't really drink coffee. It just tastes good for some reason.
Why? Is it sugar and cream?
Probably it's the vanilla one.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite. All right, Miss Sha, let's get into it, man. So, how long have you been boxing?
I've been pro for like a little over 4.5 years, and I was amateur for like a year and a half. And before that, I had started in like underground boxing like in 2012. So
Really?
Yeah, I was doing like the fighting in the nightclubs and stuff like that.
Okay, so you started a little bit later in the game, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And so, did you have any experience? Were you a fighter or a scrapper? Growing up, or how?
When I was a kid, I did a little karate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That was about it.
And so then
I wasn't known for fighting.
You weren't known for fighting? Well, that's
No, I
good.
was not fighting.
So now,
But I knew how to fight.
right, nice. Now, did you grow up with brothers?
Yeah, I have a sister and a brother.
A sister and a brother? Okay. So, and then what are you, the middle, oldest, youngest?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you had to regulate, huh?
Yeah, they look up to me.
That's good. So how did you get into the boxing game? How did the whole fighting underground and all that start?
It was the money.
What?
It was the money. So, and then as I started doing, I started loving it as well. And I was natural, like a natural fighter. And when I started training for it for real, I became a high ranking amateur. And then, well, I didn't even have that many fights though, because as you can tell, I got in the game late. And then at my size, I'm like small, so it was hard for me to find a lot of fights. So for my age and whatever, so I had ended up just going pro. I said I'm just gonna learn on the job, and so that's what I've been doing.
So how many of the underground fights did you end up having? How many of the underground fights did you end up having?
Oh, the underground fights, I would say probably like 200 of those.
Wow. And so someone just approached you about that, or
It's hard. They were just like, because like I was, it was like, hey, we have entertainers. We're gonna be having a nightclub fighting here, and so they're gonna be throwing money in the ring for tips or whatever, and you just can fight. Like I have fights all over YouTube, with like hundreds of views and stuff like that.
Nice.
Me fight. I've been Mayweather like that, fighting and everything.
And so then, how did the conversation or how the thought start? Okay, well, now as you're doing the underground fights, were you training during the off? Or,
No, see, during that time, I was just working out as far as like staying in shape because I knew that. Well, first thing I learned in the fight thing was, hey, if you in shape, you can beat everybody else. It don't matter how good they can fight. They can only fight good for so long.
Nice.
So I was just in shape.
So you were getting paid. Were you getting paid per the fight as well, plus the money they were throwing in?
No, it was just tips. It was just tips.
That was just tips. So man, they must have been showing you a lot of love doing it.
They were showing a lot of love. A lot of love.
Wow. And how many fights would they have during these shows?
Sometimes they would have like between 5 to 7 fights a night.
Oh,
and then it would be like once a week.
Wow. And then, but before that, were you a fan of boxing? No. So this was all new to you. Someone said, "Hey, you ought to try this." You started fighting, making some money. You realized, wait a minute, I can kick some ass.
I started actually loving it. And then I was like, hey, man, this is the way I can provide for my kids. Because, I have 2 little boys. And so, they like little men, really.
Yeah.
So I was like, sure, this is the way I can take care of them. So that's what I started doing.
Nice. And then so, would that be considered your amateur career? Did you do any of the like Golden Gloves or?
I did nationals.
Did you?
I won the bronze medal at the nationals.
Oh, nice.
Spokane.
Where at?
In Spokane, Washington, in 2015.
Oh, okay. Nice. And so then, who's your trainer?
I trained with Coach August and Coach Burt at Impro Boxing Gym in Mesquite, Texas.
Mesquite, Texas.
Yes.
When did you link up with them?
It's been it'll be 2 years in December.
Nice.
It'll be 2 years in December.
And so you guys decided to go pro. You have 9 wins, right?
Yes, I'm 9-3-1. Yes.
And how would you say your boxing game has evolved from the first time you were doing the underground fighting to who you are today?
I think it has evolved a lot.
Yeah.
Like, especially since I've been with my new trainers, we've been going over and over more drills. Now, that was something that I needed. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't never not stop learning, keep going over something over and over in order to get better at it. And so that was something that I needed. I've been learning to use my jab more because, as you can see, I'm a tall, long female. So using that jab is gonna set me up for every punch I need to throw at any opponent.
You know, we on the show, we're big supporters of women boxing, and you know, we want to see the sport get bigger, get more popular. We want to make sure that, you know, you guys are getting paid equally as well. You know, and you know, that's only by having the fans turn out and give you guys attention. How did you know, when you started your pro boxing career, how was it finding an opponent? You know, was that something difficult, or did you?
As you get more wins, it starts getting difficult.
But in the beginning.
But at first, no.
No.
But when they start seeing your record and then they start seeing you fighting better, then you know what I'm saying, they be like, hey, but we gotta pay her. We gotta pay her.
And so what would you tell a lot of these, or what would you tell women in general? Like, you know, if you have someone watching and they'll say, well, you know, I don't know if I can box, or I don't know if I would want to box. I don't know if it's for me, or, you know, maybe it's too hard. Or what's your message to women out there that are considering boxing, or maybe they're scared that, you know, that they're too old or it's too late for them, or, you know, what would be your advice?
Man, I would tell them, if you feel like you can do it, and if you're becoming successful at it, I'll say keep going. I don't let nobody stop me from doing something that I want to do. And if I feel like I'm doing great at it anyway, you know what I'm saying, at my age. And as you look at women's boxing, a lot of the world champions, a lot of the women are like in the mature age at the age that I'm in right now. Some of them are older. So I think as a female, I think our mindset is like different, and that's when we're really ready to be a world champion.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest advantages that we have when you have a later start is you're a little bit more mature. You're able to learn things a lot quicker, and so you understand why you're doing what you're doing. So that's going to keep you motivated to stay in the gym and do the work.
And then, like, I've always been an athlete, so like doing something to really get in shape was never really hard. And so since I love to do it, it was just like, hey, just have fun. So I get to have from having fun and getting paid and doing something that I really love to do.
What who do you like watching as far as boxing styles, and who are do you take some of the time to
My females
or males?
I like Amanda Serrano.
Oh, okay, nice.
Her fight game is serious.
Yeah.
I like of course I like Muhammad Ali. I like how he uses his jab. He's a tall, long fighter. I like Eddie Hearns. I mean, not Eddie, I'm sorry. Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns, yeah.
We want that Eddie Hearn money.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I meant to say. Look.
Yeah, we want that Eddie Hearn money. Now, you have a fight coming up too, huh, here in Houston?
Or do you? I have a fight coming up in Houston.
Or no? Do you or no?
I don't, my coach said something about it, but I don't know. Is it on BoxRec or something?
I did see it on BoxRec, but you don't have. I think you guys are still looking for an opponent. Or I'm not sure.
Talking about it, but shoot, I'm glad you done told me something.
We have some breaking news for you.
Look, thanks for telling me. I'm live TV. I knew he asked me about it. He was like, you better be in shape. I was like, yeah, I've been working out and stuff. I've been people seeing videos of me. So I've been working out, sparring, and everything. But I ain't know, like, it was just, he just said, oh, yeah, we got to find you an opponent. I was just like, oh, yeah, I know I didn't find no opponent. But I ain't know it was on BoxRec, so.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm already in the gym working out.
What, and how has this whole COVID affected your training?
it did affect it at first.